All right, welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are shifting gears a little bit from current events to something more, I guess you'd say, eternal.
Yeah.
Because we are tackling some truly ancient wisdom that might just be the most effective antidote to modern stress.
It really might be.
We're doing a deep dive into modern takes on Stoicism. And specifically, we're looking at a really accessible source, the audiobook, Unpacking Stoicism, Ancient Wisdom for Modern Peace.
And our mission today is, super focused. We're not getting into the weeds of academic philosophy.
Right.
We're here to give you a kind of mental shortcut. We want to pull out the most practical, actionable tools you can use, like right now.
For what, though? What are we fighting?
For anxiety, work pressure, relationship stress, that feeling of just overthinking every single thing in your life.
That endless loop.
It's like we're building a mental operating system, an upgrade maybe that's been beta tested for 2,000 years.
Exactly. And to do that, we have to start by clearing up the single biggest misconception about Stoicism.
Oh, yeah.
Because when most people hear the word Stoic, they picture someone, well, cold, unemotional, maybe even a little bit heartless.
The person who just bottles everything up.
Yeah, that guy. They think Stoicism means you have to become an emotionless robot.
And it's completely wrong. I mean, that's just modern language twisting an ancient idea.
Okay, so what is it then?
As this book makes really clear, true Stoicism isn't about achieving emotional numbness or, stuffing your feelings down. It's the opposite.
The opposite.
It's about achieving this radical self-awareness so you can understand those powerful emotions. And then, this is the key, choose how to respond to them.
So it's not the removal of feeling, it's the mastery of it. It's like emotional intelligence, but on a whole different level.
Precisely. If you feel anger, a Stoic doesn't pretend it's not there. They observe it, they analyze where it came from, and then they decide if acting on it is, productive or virtuous.
So they shift their focus.
Totally. Onto the one thing they can actually control, which is their own judgment, not the external thing that triggered them.
That distinction is everything. Especially now, when we're constantly being triggered by notifications and opinions. And just to set the vibe, the review of this source material noted the narration is incredibly calm, very grounded, almost meditative.
Which you need for this topic, right?
Yeah.
It helps you slow your thoughts down while you're listening. It creates that reflective space.
Turns these ancient figures like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius from, dusty philosophers into actual mental coaches.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, let's get right into the core mechanics then. This is where this modern interpretation makes the philosophy feel less like history and more like a user manual for your brain.
Let's do it.
We're starting with what I think is the ultimate anxiety killer, the principle of control.
Principle 1, the dichotomy of control. This is the absolute bedrock of Stoicism. It's just this idea that the entire universe can be split into two categories.
Things we can control and things we can't.
Things entirely up to us and things entirely not up to us. And the source argues there's maybe a third category, things we have partial influence over.
And almost all our suffering, our chronic worry, the sleepless nights, it comes from spending energy on the wrong category.
Exactly. On the things that are not up to us, trying to control outcomes, trying to change what other people think, dwelling on things that are already done.
So the big takeaway is, peace comes when you stop trying to control everything.
That's it. Think about work. You're waiting for a promotion. You can't control the final decision or the budget or office politics. That's all in the not up to us box.
Okay, but what about that partial control category? That's interesting. Let's say I'm worried about layoffs. I can't control the CEO's decision.
No.
But I can control my own preparation. I can update my resume, learn new skills, my attitude. Isn't worrying about the outcome useful if it pushes me to act on what I can control?
But that's where the Stoic discipline kicks in. The worry itself is wasted energy on the outcome. The Stoic approach is to redirect that exact same energy toward the process.
Focus on my input, not the output.
Yes, you maximize your virtuous effort, and then you just accept that the outcome is, up to the universe. Fate, whatever you want to call it. You did your part, your internal world is secure.
That's a huge mental shift. If you apply that to parenting or relationships, you stop trying to manage the other person's behavior and you just focus on being the best version of yourself.
It frees up so much mental space. And that leads right into principle 2, the power of perspective.
Okay.
The Stoics knew, and this book really hammers this home with modern examples, that external events don't disturb us.
Wait, I have to push back a little there. I mean, come on. Losing your job is disturbing. Getting a terrible diagnosis is disturbing. Some events are just negative.
They're inherently challenging, yes, absolutely. But the level of disturbance, the panic, the spiral, the depression, that's the story we add. It's our narrative.
So it's about the thoughts about the event.
Precisely. The source connects this directly to modern cognitive psychology. If you lose your job, the event is a loss of income. The panic comes from the thought chain. I'm a failure, I'll never recover, this is a catastrophe.
A Stoic would challenge those thoughts.
They'd challenge those unhelpful judgments.
Yeah.
You're training yourself to put a space between the stimulus and your judgment of it. The event happens, and you pause before you label it good or bad.
And that pause leads to the next step, right? Respond, don't react.
That's the application.
Yeah.
When the trigger happens, a critical email, a comment on social media stoicism demands you create emotional distance.
We've all been there. You get a nasty email on a Friday afternoon, and you fire back an angry reply 10 seconds later. Pure reaction.
That's the ego driving the car. The Stoic process it's simple, but it's not easy. You observe the emotion, you pause, you can literally count to 10, and then you respond wisely.
Using reason, not just raw impulse.
Exactly. That pause,
Yeah.
that's the whole battleground. And one of the biggest takeaways from the source is your greatest power is choosing your response.
That alone shifts you from being a victim of your circumstances to being the agent of your own life, even when things are awful.
It's the ultimate act of self-control.
Okay, so let's transition to the preparation toolkit. This is the stuff that can sound a little counterintuitive at first. Let's talk about concept 3, negative visualization.
Negative visualization. This is probably the most misunderstood Stoic tool. People hear it and they think it's just pessimism or
Yeah.
just, ruminating on bad things.
Yeah, I imagine a lot of listeners are skeptical. We're always told to think positive, visualize success. So how does this work without just making you anxious?
That's the key difference. Chronic worry is uncontrolled. It's a spiral. Negative visualization is a calm, controlled, temporary exercise you do when you're already in a good headspace.
So I just sit there and think, what if I lost my job? Or what if this relationship ended?
Yes, but it doesn't stop there. After visualizing the loss, you then focus on your internal resources. How would I cope? What skills do I have? Who would I lean on?
Ah, so it's about emotional preparedness.
Exactly. So if the bad thing ever does happen, the shock is less. The stress is reduced because you've already walked that path in your mind. It turns fear of the unknown into confidence in your own resilience.
That reminds me of that amazing quote from the source. You suffer more in imagination than in reality. Modern anxiety is all anticipatory dread. We spend so much time agonizing.
And this tool helps short-circuit that. It forces you to see that most of the suffering is happening inside your own head. And that connects to concept 4, memento mori.
Remember death.
It sounds super morbid, I get it.
But it's not meant to make you scared of dying. It's supposed to make you feel urgent about living, right?
Exactly. It's an anchor for a purposeful life. By remembering that this day, this moment isn't guaranteed, you stop sweating the small stuff.
The pointless arguments, the endless scrolling.
You realize your time is finite, and it forces you to prioritize, to choose meaningful action over distraction.
That really puts into perspective every moment you spend furious in a traffic jam. That's time you never get back.
It refocuses you immediately. And that leads right to last concept here, practicing virtue. If you're living with this kind of awareness, what does success even look like?
Well, it's clearly not about money or status, based on everything we've said.
Not at all. The source defines true success not by what you have, but by who you are. It's about becoming a wise, just, strong, and disciplined person.
The 4 cardinal virtues: justice, temperance, wisdom, and courage.
Yep. So your whole job, in the face of chaos, is just to act virtuously.
So when I get that frustrating email, the real win isn't the business outcome. It's me responding with fairness and self-control.
You got it. The external result is indifferent in the Stoic sense. Your character is the only thing that's truly yours.
Okay, let's talk application. We have these principles, but how does someone actually start doing this? What's the tool you can use tonight?
The journaling tool. The source really highlights journaling as the practical way to do this. It's what Marcus Aurelius was doing in his meditations. It's like an evening audit of your character.
What does that audit look like? Is it just writing down your feelings?
No, it's very structured. 3 parts. First, review your day against the virtues. Where did I act unjustly? Where did I lose my self-control?
Okay.
Second, you apply the dichotomy of control. What did I worry about today that was totally outside my control? And third, you prepare for tomorrow. What challenges might come up, and how will I try to respond wisely?
So that last step is basically a small, practical dose of negative visualization.
Exactly. That structure is what turns it from just an emotional dump into actual psychological training.
It's reason over reaction.
Now, summing up the strengths of this particular source, it is so good for a modern listener because it is so practical. It skips the complex, abstract philosophy and just focuses on building emotional intelligence.
And the review mentions some minor limitations, like it's more about mindset than step-by-step exercises. But for someone drowning in stress, that's not really a drawback, is it?
No, you need the mindset shift first. You need the clarity before you can handle the advanced theory. This book prioritizes immediate relief.
Okay, let's pull out those final high-impact takeaways, the ideas that really stick with you.
The first one, which just transforms how you see adversity, is the obstacle is the path.
The obstacle's the path.
It's a total psychological reframing. It means that the challenges, the stress, the things you want to avoid, that is the exact material you need to build your character.
They're not roadblocks. They're the training ground.
They are the training ground. So that terrible presentation you have to give, that's your chance to practice courage. That difficult conversation, that's your chance to practice temperance.
It forces you to embrace difficulty.
Completely. And the second big takeaway is really a summary of everything. True freedom is self-mastery.
True freedom is self-mastery. Say more about that.
Freedom isn't about having everything you want externally. That's just being lucky. True freedom, in the Stoic sense, is not being a slave to your own knee-jerk reactions, your fears, your judgments.
It means you are the ruler of your own mind.
That's it. And that makes this so useful for everyone we mentioned, overthinkers, employees, entrepreneurs. It's mental toughness for a chaotic world.
It really is.
Ultimately, this philosophy, especially the way this source presents it, teaches you the art of staying calm and focused, not by running away from modern chaos, but by learning how to stand right in the middle of it, unshaken.
That is a phenomenal summary. So as you think about all this, here's a final thought for you to take away. If true freedom really is self-mastery, what is one single daily reaction you have? That flash of defensiveness, that urge to check your phone, that moment of frustration. What's one reaction you can choose to simply observe and pause on today? Can you reclaim just a small piece of that freedom in one single moment?
A powerful place to start.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into finding modern peace through ancient wisdom. We'll see you next time.